It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Jets to take over. Led at quarterback by a man back to full health in season number 20 now, and his second one in New York, and that's Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Rodgers going to come out throwing. This pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And their coach told us the other day that they wanted to get him in a nice groove right out of the gate. And one way to do that, give him quick throws where he can get the ball out of his hand in a hurry, as he did there.
Second down and 3. A first carry here for Kene Nwangu. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Another run now for Nwangu. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. Malik Washington deep for Miami. This is taken at the 18. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Well, the Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023. Now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Here's Tua. Short throw to Smith. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. That's to the new Dolphin. It's Odell Beckham Jr. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Looking to pass. Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up second down. Waddle, the motion man right. Running right, here's Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Now Tua. That is caught, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Seven 7-0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
They'll go right back to Nwangu. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll run with Hall. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now it's Rodgers. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 21. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 10 more there and another first down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And he will find his man on the outside. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Touchdown, Jets! From 6 yards away. And the Jets are an extra point away from evening this one up. On that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So Miami coming out for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Open man is Waddle, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
In motion right, one of the tight ends. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Achane. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Play action. Now it's Tua. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Tyrell Dodson, the one to bring him down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
To throw is Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Second down and a yard. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 7-7, our score after 1. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle, Nwangu.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up.
We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 17-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Ruckert hauling it in on the out route. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
Rodgers again now. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets have taken the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Now Carlson for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Miami set to take over. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Here's Achane to start the drive.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down.
The last run went so well for them, maybe they should have just handed it off right here too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on him and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Tua going to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On play action, Rodgers.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 23. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And out come the Dolphins now.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. In motion, Hill. A little jet sweep to start the drive.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Throw caught by Achane.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Chuck Clark, the one in coverage, and he breaks up the pass.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And the Jets will take over. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at the 34. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Here's Rodgers.
Connection made to Ruckert.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the 1st.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Rodgers now to throw. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
Throwing is Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now it's Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Well, they'll bring out Anders Carlson now to try the field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10.
In motion, Hill. Off of play action. Tagovailoa steps away. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Hassan Reddick.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua, short throw to Smith. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11.
Waddle the motion man right.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's Jake Bailey now.
Pulled in at the 24.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Rodgers going to throw.
To the right side and intercepted.
Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So now here come the Dolphins.
And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the turnover, it's Tua. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Looking to pass. Tua. It's caught. Smith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Tua sets up to pass it.
Goes right back to Smith again. And the Dolphins are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not. And he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Achane diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Sanders now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was Devon Achane who finished things off with a touchdown reception.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
To throw is Rodgers. That's complete. It's Charles. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Rodgers to throw.
On the out route, this is Adams with a catch.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Here's 2nd and 3.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Rodgers.
The throw here, right sideline, falls incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter.
A solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
The third quarter begins with a run by Achane.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. In motion, Hill. Play action. Now it's Tua.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Second and 10. First carry for Raheem Mostert.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
19 yards for Raheem Mostert. And the Dolphins have retaken a third quarter lead.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. 1 carry, 1 touchdown.
Sanders on for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Jets offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Anthony Walker up behind the line and finishing that play off.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Drops this off with Nwangu.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond. But on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. On play action, here's Tua.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
H.A.N. on the counter.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Sauce Gardner
coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Here's Rodgers. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Rodgers.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calais Campbell on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Handoff here to Nwangu. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Rodgers. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense.
A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way, and he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
In motion, Hill. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Will McDonald able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Time for another drive here for this Jets offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
First play's a run with Nwangu. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7.
From the gun, it's Rodgers.
This completes a Corley.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions, and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
And out of bounds right around the 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
2nd down and 4.
On play action, Rodgers.
Throw over the middle. He's got Ruckert.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Hall on a give up the middle.
And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now it's Rodgers. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And they'll bring out Anders Carlson now to try the field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll bring him back within a point.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
A give, running right, Achane.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
3rd down and 13.
Here's Tua.
Short throw to Smith.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Take it at the 37. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. They'll run. This is Hill.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now Tua on the bootleg here. That is caught. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Looking to pass. Tua. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Back to the ground, Achane.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the 1st down. So you've got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. The kick by Sanders is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So out now come the Jets.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second, this is a one-score game. So they're still very much in this, and they're on the move here with a 1st down.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
A handoff for Hall.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 36. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 36. To throw, it's Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Rodgers going to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Second and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Give to Hall running right.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Jets have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now this offense headed back out. Captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
The tight end in motion right. Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Will McDonald getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Now Rodgers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now 2nd and 3.
To throw is Rodgers.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Rodgers. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
From the gun, it's Tua. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Now Tua.
And that, nearly picked off. It would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Tua. This is caught by Waddle.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing Tua.
Going for it all. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins have regained the lead.
And touchdown and congratulations and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 4. A minute 17 remains. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Rodgers to throw. That's pulled in by Wilson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. This is 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Here comes 2nd down. To throw is Rodgers. He completes it to Wilson.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way.
Well, this crowd doing their best to make a lot of racket. It's 3rd and 5.
Back to throw, Rodgers.
He's got his target. That's complete.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
Back to throw. This is caught. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Now 1st and goal.
Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead. And also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Carlson's extra point up and good.
So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Tua. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. Here's 2nd down. Now Tua. Short throw to Smith. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Tua. That is caught. They'll have the first down and more than that.
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, but they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it ends with what most likely will be the game-winning touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Miami, so long, everybody.
Not headed to the airport for this one. One more day here will suit me just fine.